Welcome to the Adrenaline All-America Lacrosse game. I am Matt Kinnear, Editor-in-Chief of Inside Lacrosse. I am here with Jonah Zissi, who is the Recruiting Director at Adrenaline, and we are going to have a special guest later in the broadcast. Lauren Lee from the WPIAL's Philadelphia Fire will be joining us. Jonah, this is just a incredible event here. You know, the best players in the West are playing on this big stage here at the Star in Frisco. What an incredible venue.
Yeah, the 2018 class out West is one of the best we've had in over a decade, and this is just the final chapter to their illustrious four-year careers in the high school scene here.
You know, we're going to see some incredible talent. We've seen the game grow and expand so much, and you've been an incredible part of this, and Adrenaline has been an incredible part of this. And now it's time to kind of to reap the rewards and showcase these guys on such a grand stage. This field here, first, let's talk about that, get the setting here. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, the venue is second to none, and to be honest, you know, this game's going to be competitive. These guys are out here to celebrate the end of their careers, but to be honest, it's going to be a great game.
We're going to start with a look at the north. This is a pretty balanced squad all around on the north side, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, top to bottom, the north is pretty spread out offensively, defensively, and the face-off backs might be where they're strong.
Yeah. We have a few injuries here in the north, but, you know, like you said, you know, face-offs, defense, and pretty good from top to bottom.
Yeah, the north will be strong top to bottom. Face-offs might be the key for them there, but overall very balanced.
When we're looking at this team, is there what are the states that make up this north, you know, side of the bracket here, so people know?
You know, you got NorCal kids, all the San Francisco groups. You got the Seattle base, Portland base, and you have Utah and Colorado making up the north team. So pretty balanced, 4 different states, and all of NorCal, which in itself is almost its own state.
Yeah, when I'm looking at this, you know, there's a few guys that stick out to me. Brody Laporte is a guy that I know pretty well. Defenseman, he's going to Villanova. He's going to have a great career in college. But really excited to see, you know, some of these guys. You know, I think a lot of people think of SoCal. You know, the North guys are pretty impressive as well.
Yeah, you look at this North roster, I think you got Bo Pedersen and Sam Hanley are 2 names that stick out right away as guys that can score. And then Drew Erickson, who's also an Under Armour All-American, you know, as a lefty going to Denver. Those 3 guys can put points on the board in a hurry.
When we're looking at the South, you know, the first thing that jumps out when you look at this South roster is just offense, offense, offense. These guys are pretty incredible, aren't they?
Yeah, Nick DeMaio is probably the best feeder in the game, and you couple him with guys like Isaiah Dawson, Shane Grant, Ramsey McCreary. You know, there's no end to the firepower here on the South team. And then to top it off, Quentin Buckman might be the best player in the country right now.
Yeah, Quentin Buckman is a guy that I know, you know, we're targeting as one of the best at his position in the country in the Inside Lacrosse recruiting rankings. Isaiah Dawson has been that #1 midfielder for us for a few years now. He was on the cover of Inside Lacrosse magazine. So there's a lot of firepower in this roster.
Absolutely, and great athletes too. Defensively, you've got Evan Egan and Jonathan Ford and Justin Chang, 3 of the best athletes in the country, and those guys are all top 25 ranked players as well. So this South roster is pretty incredible.
Goaltender Carver Skarnalis is a good guy as well. He's going to be going to Marquette University. Talk about the growth of the game. Look at the schools that are listed on these. You got a school like Marquette that didn't exist just a few years ago, and they're an NCAA tournament caliber team. You've got places like Air Force. You've got places like Denver. You've got Notre Dame. You've got the University of Utah that is going to be adding Division I men's lacrosse this coming season. This is really showcasing the sport growing, you know, not just at these East Coast, you know, kind of traditional powers, but places in the Midwest, the West, and hopefully more and more are coming on the horizon.
Yeah, you know, it's unique to see where all these kids are from diversity-wise, high school-wise, but now to your point, all of these colleges, you know, you've got Utah, you've got MCLA programs, Division I programs, East Coast, West Coast. So very exciting today.
Ladies and gentlemen, to honor our great nation, please stand and take all ball caps off as we listen to our wonderful national anthem.
Welcome back. We're here at the Star in Frisco, the home of the Dallas Cowboys, where this is a place where the Dallas Rattlers play professionally. They had the championship there last year, and now the Adrenaline All-Americans get to take the face-off literally on the Star here at Frisco. How excited are you?
This is great, man. This is a perfect venue. Being a high school kid, to be in this locker room and playing in this venue, and to have the media day that they had this morning, and to come out here and play in this environment is pretty awesome. I can't imagine what it's like to be an 18-year-old playing out here right now.
And we have some standout players here. Let's look at the North a little bit.
Sure.
Drew Erickson is one player that we really need to keep an eye on in this game.
Drew Erickson's a slick lefty, really crafty Canadian style of play, going to play for Matt Brown at Denver, kind of the perfect fit for him. Also an Under Armour All-American. Drew will be a guy that they're going to lean on heavily today from the North.
And then Bo Peterson from Park City, Utah as well.
Bo Peterson's a three-sport athlete out of Park City. He's going to Princeton to play lacrosse, had a bunch of football offers. He's an attackman that can also play midfield. Super tough kid, super athletic. Probably a guy that'll play right away when he gets to Princeton as a freshman.
And he's got some great players he's joining on that Princeton offense as well. Let's look at the South here. Nicholas DeMeo is a guy that, I think people are going to know his name, and he's going to BU.
Yep, Nick DeMeo is going to take a prep year at Avon Old Farms next year, headed to Boston University. Probably the best feeder, arguably, in the country. He's going to be setting guys up all day today out here.
Something's going to be happening. It's probably going to start from his stick.
I would think
so.
And
it's going to be, maybe going to this guy that we're going to talk about next, Isaiah Dawson, who has been the #1 midfielder at his position. He's just an incredible kid.
Yeah, been doing this thing a long time. Isaiah is one of my favorite kids of all time. Just a super humble kid, really well-rounded, and tremendous athlete. Isaiah is a two-way midi in the truest sense. Can play D, can run all day, and certainly can score if he gets his hands free.
And then Justin Chang, another player to watch here for the South roster.
Justin Chang headed to Notre Dame in the fall. One of the most under-recruited kids we've ever had out in the West. Really came on strong last summer at Under Armour. He's just really one tough, mean defenseman.
Tough, mean defenseman. Obviously you think of Notre Dame, but you also got to think of this guy too, Evan Egan.
This is the flash guy. Evan Egan is the flashiest, most offensive defenseman I've seen in a while. Great stick, turns defense into offense, makes plays, fits that Carolina system really well. Big kid. Another guy that I think will probably play right away as a freshman.
So it's such an interesting kind of mix of styles here on the South. You've got guys who are great feeders. You've got creators. You've got defensemen who can score. You've got defensemen who can beat the heck out of you. Really going to be interesting to see just all these guys on one field together and what comes out of it.
I think the hardest part in any one of these kind of games is just who can have any kind of cohesion. Tons of great players on both teams. Everyone's used to being the guy at their respective high schools. Who's going to be the most cohesive team will probably be the team that wins tonight. So
we've got the players starting to line up. The officials are conversing here at the 50-yard line, getting ready to kick off this Adrenaline All-America game. This has been an incredible experience for these kids, and just getting to actually see them play. After going to the banquet with them, doing the media day where they had a lot of fun this morning, answering some pretty silly questions, and getting to see their personality a lot. These California guys have quite a bit of personality, isn't that so?
It's great. They're all great kids, and they're all used to one another from playing on the club circuit. It's they're all kind of friendly, and I think today, they're really enjoying each other's company. I think the great part about today is everyone's got their high school helmets on, so they got the great gear, but you can tell everyone representing their different high schools, and it makes it a little easier to tell who's who out there. A lot of different high schools represented for sure.
Lots of different high schools, just showcasing the growth. That's what this event's about. The event's about the kids, but it's just showcasing the growth and all these high schools, and probably some high schools that, when you guys started this, weren't really represented in an event like this, didn't have the caliber player like you're seeing right now.
Not at all. You have your traditional hotbeds, but we've got guys from Austin, Texas here. We've got guys from Wisconsin, Minnesota, really off the map, the non-traditional of the non-traditional.
We're about to take the opening draw here. Representing the North here on the opening faceoff is Brett Booz. He's going to University of Denver. And then we have Aiden Hesse, going to Tufts University, the Division III power that had an incredible year this year, like pretty much always, and is going to be a force in Division III world. Here's the opening draw we have right now. The referee is putting the ball down, and we are about to get underway. So the South is going to retain possession, go to the net, take a shot,
Wow.
bouncer into the top left corner. What an incredible start to this game.
Aiden Hess is a guy that played club ball for me, and as a Tufts alum and former coach, I can't be happier for those guys to get a guy of Aiden's caliber. Aiden slipped through the cracks recruiting-wise, but, the sky's the limit for Aiden at the Division III level. And you just saw a preview of why right there. Not a bad way to start.
What an incredible way to start. Just a little bit late getting to him, and he takes advantage there with that bouncer. That bouncer off this turf is going to be something. I'm curious how the ball reacts to this high-quality Frisco turf here. This one's going to go back the other way toward the north here. A little bit of a scrum, and what a ground ball getting out of that one.
Tate Young,
the midfielder going to Notre Dame. That's what Notre Dame likes to see. I'm sure Jerry Byrne is watching this right now and is thrilled to watch his guy come out of a pile with the ground ball.
Well, there you go again. Tate Young is a guy from Austin, Texas. So, again, in more of a non-traditional area of the non-traditional areas. Not a whole lot of great talent out of Austin. Tate Young and Carver, though, in this game. It's great to see.
They're going to be setting up this offense from up top. Right now we got David Sprock with the ball. He's going to take a dodge right here, go down the alley, and reset this one right here. Great look there. Tate Young going into some traffic.
Nice cut by DeMeo. DeMeo is one of the best IQs I've ever seen play the game. If he's not feeding the ball, he's making himself available off ball. Not the best athlete by any means, but makes up for it with his IQ. Great lefty. Nice play right there by Nick.
Like you were saying before we started this broadcast, he's a guy that just makes a lot of stuff happen. Every time I've seen him play, it's just he's in the right spot, high IQ, does everything well, and that was just an incredible cut there. Kind of had the defense ball watching a little bit and took advantage.
Absolutely. He's like having another coach out there on the field.
The third face-off, that's 3 straight face-off wins there.
I think you're seeing how good Aiden Hess is. I think Tufts really stole a recruit there. They got a good one in Aiden.
They will set up the offense, get some substitutions underway. And this midfield, Trent Purnell right now is going to take a dodge from up top. He's got a short stick on him.
Trent Purnell is the lone player from Las Vegas. There's
wow.
DeMaio again.
DeMaio again. What an incredible cut, and the awareness of that between the legs shot there. It was a great save we had, but incredible awareness from him. You hit the nail on the head. He's just another guy, coach on the field.
Got Spencer Grant right here, one of the best athletes on the field. Two-way midfielder, heading to Michigan, faces off, plays defensive midi. Tremendous athlete.
Almost a shot there. We had Shane Grant, try to go behind the back a little bit on that nice cut. And the ball's in DeMayo's stick. You got to think something's going to happen here. It does. It gets down to Brandon Moe, who's going to try to get this back to X here and see what they can do from behind the net. What can DeMayo do from behind the net when he has the ball?
DeMayo's more of a left wing kind of guy. He's a lefty and needs to be on that left side, but that guy makes plays wherever he is.
What a feed there from Ramsey McCreary, and then we get the step-down shot from Trent Purnell, going to Colorado Mesa University, the D2 school that had quite a year this season.
They had a great run. Colorado Mesa is a great option for a lot of Western kids, really cost-effective. They've got full scholarships, and a lot of kids that want to stay close to home end up going there. Like I said earlier, Trent's the one guy representing Nevada here today. Great player from Palo Verde High School in Las Vegas.
Colorado Mesa making the NCAA tournament for the first time in that program's history, the D2 tournament. They had a pretty incredible run, and he's going to be able to join that and join a great D2 program. D2 provides a lot of options in the West, the South, maybe some of the non-traditional geographic areas. And then here we go. We have another South possession, 4-0 in the face-off so far. Right now we have Moe operating from behind the net. Little two-man game here. Some nice action off ball there from Ramsey McCreary, who now has the ball on his stick, and we're going to try to set something up here, slow it down a little bit, and see what they can get happening here on offense.
Ramsey McCreary, one of the quickest guys out there. He should be quarterback in this offense. Quentin Buckman up top.
This is one of our first looks at Quentin. He has the ball on his stick now. He's going to dodge from up top. Great shot right off the pipe. He's just an incredible player, isn't he?
He's tough to stop. He can beat you with size, with speed, with strength. He's a big kid with a really big lower center of gravity. He's sort of hard to defend.
really makes that look pretty simple, too, the way he kind of gets his hands free and gets open for that shot. And, you know, it was just a millimeter or two away from being a goal there. Another opportunity. This South is really taking it to him right now. That was Josh Taus going to the Air Force Academy. A good attempt there. Ramsey, quarterback in this offense. And that is a goal. The lefty shot somehow snuck through there. Not sure how that ended up in the back of the net, but like you said, he's going to be the guy that's going to be running the show in this South offense, and we saw it from him right there.
Quick burst from Ramsey McCreary. Great first step, great hesitation move. The North's going to have to figure something out here.
They're going to have to get the ball first. It's going to be priority number one for them. You know, let's see here on the faceoff if Sam Jacoby can get something going. I'm sorry. That's Jackson Harvey. Numbers are a little bit difficult to see from up here. He's also going to Denver. A lot of Denver guys on this roster here. And he's going to try to make something happen, get an offensive possession, and see what this offense can do for the North squad, because right now it's been all South.
Both of these faceoff guys for the North are headed to the University of Denver. Both of them are local boys that play in the Denver Elite program, so staying close to home.
That was their best shot, but it looks like they will get a possession here. A little bit of a scrum there, but Blue ends up with the ball out right in front of the bench. So we can see what this North offense can finally do with the ball right now.
Here's Pedersen with the ball. Probably one of the go-to guys for them as far as initiation will go. Look at how athletic he is.
Athletic and doesn't look like he's scared of anything. Just goes right into the middle of it. Gets a shot off, and they'll get a restart and an opportunity to set something up right here. A solid takeaway check there from Hayden Rodenbeck right there. He's going to the University of Utah. As we know, going Division I this coming season is pretty incredible story in the world of lacrosse, and he's going to be a part of it. And you saw him here first at the Adrenaline All-America game.
The University of Utah is a great story. They've got 4 really great guys coaching that team. They've got a great culture in place already in their time in the MCLA, and they're going to hit the ground running right now this fall. So I expect Utah to do really big things based on who they have running that program.
And it seems like they're willing to take on all comers. They're scheduling some heavy hitters in their inaugural schedule there. Coach Holman, he's gonna. You got to play the best to be the best. So he's doing that in year one there. Some incredible stuff coming out of Utah, and hopefully a tipping point for more teams, to add Division I lacrosse to elevate their programs.
Here's our first look at Jaden Carey from Minnesota, headed to Duke, one of the lone Minnesota guys in this game today.
He gets off a solid attempt, and we're going to get a restart. Good take there from behind the net, and
Chase Taylor,
and then look at this Evan Egan. You were talking about defensively. He's not afraid to mix it up there. No.
Evan's one of the best in the game, has been since he stepped foot in high school in 9th grade.
Joshua James is just going to start it up top and get it back to X. We're going to see if we're going to have a dodge back here.
There's Pedersen again.
Pedersen with a great swim move there, it looked like, but then he was quickly doubled, and we're going to have a clear from the South. A little bit of trouble here on this clear. Some really tenacious riding and great calls turnover there right at the 50-yard line of this, right near the star on the Frisco Stadium there. So it's going to be blue ball.
I think Blue just needs to get a goal to kind of calm down and get on, the same page with one another, just to relax a little bit. But right now they seem to be forcing the ball all over the place.
They've, after 4 straight possessions not having the ball, once you get the ball on the offensive side after not having it for quite a little bit, there can be some tension, some nerves. You want to make something happen. You grip the stick a little bit tighter. If they can just kind of calm down a little bit, I'm sure they can get something going. These are some incredible talents on this team. So right now they're going to have it from up top. We have Jack Serco from up top. He's going to get it down to Joshua James here. Kind of dodging on a short stick. You got a nice little pick ahead of him. He's going to take a tough angle shot there. Against goaltending like this, you're not sure if that's really going to be a high percentage shot for you, and that one hit the side of the net. And the South is going to have a chance to go the other way with it.
You look at that matchup, you try to go against the short sticks, but Isaiah Dawson's the short stick that's playing against you. That's not a good matchup really for you.
Incredible pass by DeMeo. He hit Ryan Ramirez in stride with a behind-the-back pass. And now look at this, making the incredible play on the ride. He gets the ball, takes a rip, a scoring chance. Man, this guy just makes stuff happen, doesn't he?
Yeah. Nick's all over the place, man. For lacking what he does in athleticism, he's all over the place with IQ and savvy. He rides hard, scraps hard. You've seen 2 behind the back passes already, backdoor cut for a goal. Kind of does everything.
Yeah, he just, I think he's, completed the coach's checklist of things you want to see from an elite player there with everything he's done in this game. And we're only, just in the first quarter of this one. So that's a really impressive performance so far. Isaiah Dawson, a player that's gotten a lot of attention over his career. He's carrying the ball right now. He goes to his left, gets a shot off, maybe not the best angle that he would want there for that shot. So the North is going to get a chance to move up the field and try to make something happen. Like you said, they've been a little bit nervous here on the offensive end and, settle for a bad shot that last possession. Haven't really just run an offense and kind of been patient with the ball.
Yeah, it's time for the North needs to get on the board right here, settle in a little bit.
There's an attempt right there from Jack Serko hitting the crossbar.
Jack Serko heading to Williams College out of the NESCAC next year. Great place, really good student. Passed up a couple Division I offers to go to a smaller school, but I think he'll do great in that league.
We're going to pass this one down.
There's Pedersen.
Pedersen with the goal here, and after this goal, we're going to send it down to field level where RJ has a special guest.
Thanks, Matt. I'm down here with Bubba Fairman. Bubba, you guys just got on the board. What do you guys need to do right this next quarter?
We just got to get the ball. I'm going to start making some adjustments, and I'm going to lock off a couple players, probably throw a zone at them. But, yeah, we're going to make some big-time adjustments.
All right, now you're back at the Adrenaline All-American game as a coach, not a player. What's this experience been like so far this weekend?
It's honestly been incredible just to see how much, the Western expansion has grown. When I was playing in this game 2 years ago, I think we had around 10 kids playing NCAA Division I lacrosse, and now, they said it like 50 out of the 55 players are going to play Division I lacrosse, which is just absolutely incredible. It speaks to not only the Adrenaline organization, but all the players and the families out here too.
Who should fans at home keep their eye on this quarter?
I think the North coaching staff. Gary, Tucker, and myself. No, our goalies are really good. Honestly, all the players are great here, and it's fun to watch them. They're having fun, so, yeah.
Thanks, Bubba. Good luck on the comeback. Back to you guys.
That was Bubba Fairman, a star from this game, who, just capped off an incredible first year at the University of Maryland and is, he's going to be one of the biggest stars in college lacrosse. But first, here's a look at another star, Trent Purnell, the Colorado Mesa bound midfielder, again with the goal. That one was from up top, a nice bouncer here on the turf.
Trent's having a great game. I think you're seeing a lot of guys, Aiden Hess at the faceoff X and Trent Purnell, some of these guys that are playing Division II and Division III, showing that they're here to play with the big boys.
That's not only we're showing the geographic growth, but we're showing, just kind of the fact that there's different options besides just the traditional Division I powers. There's schools that are emerging in Division I, but there's also schools that are in Division II, Division III that are really excellent options to continue your education and to play some really high level quality lacrosse.
Yeah, I think it's really all about finding the right fit. I think a lot of kids nowadays get caught up in the Division I hysteria, but it's really about where are you going to be happiest and what's the right fit.
South again, able to kind of control the pace of this game with the face-offs, with the Tufts-bound face-off star, winning the majority of the draws in this one. And again, the South,
Josh Taus,
extends this one to a 6-1 lead, going down the alley, a bouncer, hitting that inside pipe, inside of that far pipe. And just this team really is in control of this game right now.
Yeah, I think the North has to do a better job of sliding. Every goal has been unassisted so far from the South. They're not getting a lot of help defense at all from the North. You can't leave short sticks out to dry like that.
Yeah, definitely. Everything's been a little bit too easy for these midfielders from the South. Obviously they're getting the ball, but then, once they get that first dodge, it's really nothing, nothing coming at them. So it's been a little bit too easy. Some solid wing play here is going to lead to another South possession.
David Sprock on the ground ball.
These events like this, how satisfying is it as a coach and for these guys, future coaches, to see people hustling the ground balls and making plays like that? This is a showcase game, and these guys are putting in the effort.
Yeah, coaches love the invisible plays, the hustle plays, the tough ground balls, the rides. you know, everyone here can pass and catch and shoot, you know.
Paul Rodriguez with the take there. You know, he came up and got above GLE and had a pretty decent shot attempt there. Here we go. We had a good double there by the North defense. Some really good support there. Kind of, you know, frustrated Patrick English's shot there. I'm sorry, Ellis Geis's shot there. So we are going to end this first quarter. It's 6-1. The South is really in control of this game. Who's been standing out for you so far?
Gosh, I think the MVP of the first quarter has to be Aiden Hess at the face-off X, because possession is key here, and without him.
Quick little statistics. 14 shots on goal by the South and 5.
Adrenaline's been a great sponsor for us this year. We came in and got all new gear. We got some new jackets and some shooter shirts and some new uniforms. All this stuff's been really light.
It was light, it was comfortable.
I mean, they are the product on the West Coast, and that's spreading to the East Coast.
We are about to start the second quarter here of the Adrenaline All-America game. We have a 6-1 lead for the team from the South, really controlling, you know, the possession, controlling the tempo, basically controlling this game from start to finish of that first quarter.
Yeah, Coach Farmer needs to actually make some of these adjustments he talked about in that interview and figure out something on the face-off X or the wings to stop Aiden right now.
Yeah, and when they're getting the ball, you know, this North squad really needs to be a little more patient. You know, maybe, you know, let the game come to them a little bit and not try to force some opportunities that aren't there.
Yeah, like I said, the hardest part of these games is just getting cohesion, and I don't think the North has made more than 3 passes on any one possession quite yet. So need to get some guys some touches, get guys comfortable, get the ball moving around, and like I said, 1 goal and they'll settle in.
Aiden Hesse, the face-off specialist for the South, has been one of the stars of this game so far. He's headed to Tufts University, the Division III power. So get to see him a lot in his college career. You know, Tufts is a perennial staple of the NCAA tournament and goes pretty deep in the tournament. So you'll be seeing his name deep into May for the next handful of years. And he wins this one and gets it going forward. Great transition play, but just a little bit, you know, outside of the cross there for Ellis Geis there. So not able to connect on that opportunity, but, you know, kind of like the ability for the South team to just, you know, let's take some chances. We got a 6-1 lead.
Yeah, the South is so full of athletes and skilled guys. I'm surprised they're not playing faster.
Yeah, and this is, you know, that's the game that people want to see and want to see played, and these South guys are the athletes that can do it. Now the North is going to have their chance to get a possession here off of that broken play, maybe get some momentum to start this second quarter. But the ball is dropped, and it's going to go back the other way, and it's going to be South ball. That was a really squandered opportunity there from the North. South with a quick restart. Paul Rodriguez with the ball in his stick. He's going to wait for his midfielders to come out and settle this down and start a new opportunity. Buckman taking it from the top corner. He's going to look to dodge here, I think.
He is one of the quickest and most deceptive releases I've ever seen, on top of his shot being so fast. really hard to pick up for goalies.
He took a step toward the inside of the field and just let that ball rip. Before you could even tell he was going to shoot, that ball was already toward the goal. So we're going to see a lot from him today with a short stick on him.
Shane Grant here, super athletic, right-handed midfielder headed to Richmond. Pretty formidable line with Dawson, Buckman, and Shane out there at the midfield right now.
That's some good defense, a double and a triple team there, but just not able to get the ball for this North defense, despite kind of causing the turnover. That was Will Carson going to Boston University with the good defensive play, but just not able to get the ball and move it up the field. And here we go. Finally, with the ground ball here, Brody Laporte going to Villanova University, gets the ball and is able to move it up the field. But again, just a lost opportunity for the North. They drop a ball, and this is going to be a transition for the South the other way. Great save there.
Schlendorf.
That's an incredible save. What do you know about the goalie there?
John Schlendorf is from Oregon Episcopal School up there. He's headed to Harvard. Super smart kid. Pretty steady and consistent goaltender.
That was a great save. One of those saves that can, kind of make some momentum. But again, a missed opportunity, a drop ball. That's, if you're a goalie, you want to see your offense kind of give you some credit there and build on your save that you just made. But they kind of threw the ball away a little bit.
I don't know if the North has any shots on goal yet. Nice catch by Buckman.
Buckman is just so smooth in everything he does. The ball's near him. It's going to be in his stick, and he's going to make something happen with it. He's going to settle this one down and get that over to Tate Young. Going to Notre Dame. He's going to take a dodge, gets it into his right hand. Nice feed inside, but that's broken up by the North defense. Will Carson, again, he's been kind of tenacious out there. He's been a bright spot on this North defense, and he's moving the ball upfield, trying to make something happen. It looks like they're going to not have the fast break opportunity, instead going to slow this down a little bit and set up a new possession, which is probably the best thing for them.
Here's our first look at Justin Chang defending the ball. Justin Chang is one of the best defenders out here. Really under-recruited guy. Was initially committed to Bryant and then was picked up by Notre Dame late in the summer of his junior year. Great get for those guys.
Notre Dame and great defensemen, they go hand in hand. How is he going to fit in there?
Yeah, he's going to fit perfectly. Jonathan Ford and Justin Chang, both defensemen here, heading to Notre Dame for Jerry Byrne.
That was one of the better opportunities that the North has gotten besides their one goal today. Jack Collins with a good cut, but sends it just a little bit over the net. That's going to set up Mason Bond from behind the net. What an incredible behind-the-back opportunity there from Jack Serko, but just not able to kind of get anything really on the cage. All these shots are a little bit wide, a little bit rushed, and just not exactly high percentage things. The South will get the ball back with the ball going out on the sidelines and try to start something else, really extend this lead and kind of, once they put this game away, but put this game into a really comfortable spot if they make it 7-1 here on this possession.
Here's Jake Brophy with the ball, the only MCLA guy in the game. Jake was a guy that was initially committed to Holy Cross University Division I school. And then got into UCLA and just decided to stay closer to home. So a great player, only guy on the roster representing the MCLA.
We've talked a little bit about non-traditional schools, Division II and Division III, and the MCLA, though, deserves a lot of credit for the way the game has expanded in the West.
Absolutely. If you're a kid on the West Coast and you can go to Stanford or Berkeley or UCLA, you got to think twice, long and hard about going back to the East Coast for those winners, if you have those opportunities.
Great opportunity there from Brandon Moe. A stellar play in transition. Two really nice passes. The best cohesion we've seen from the North, but that one sails just a little bit too high. Maybe starting to see something come together for these guys.
Erickson here with the ball. Need to get him going if you're on the North team.
Apologies, that was Erickson that last shot. Erickson with a good pass. He's going to back up this shot as well and get a chance to make something happen from behind the net. He's got Grayson Macaro on him. Gets a good take and tries to wrap it around the net a little bit. And, but still, from the North, we've seen a few spurts there of some cohesion, but a lot of ISO plays and a lot of one-on-one stuff from these guys.
Patrick English here from Michigan, headed to Marquette in the fall. Probably the guy furthest east on this roster. Marquette
providing lots of opportunities for Midwest talent. to really kind of showcase their stuff, in their home region as opposed to having to travel to the East Coast. Marquette has done some wonderful things out there in Milwaukee, and he will continue that.
Man, Marquette does a great job recruiting the local guys. They've got a great hold on the best players in Ohio, and then all of the one-ups in Michigan and Wisconsin and Minnesota. They do a great job picking those guys up.
Here's a good take, but again, just goes a little bit wide. That's Jack Collins from behind the net. He's going to BU.
Jack Collins is a kid that lives in Los Angeles and goes to Avon Old Farm School in Connecticut.
Mason Bonney there with a nice move. Just the ball just kind of sails out of his stick right there before he was able to turn and get that high angle for that shot. Things just are kind of not clicking there for this North team. Whether it's just the ball kind of is just popping out of their stick at inopportune times. South is going to have another chance to score here. Paul Rodriguez from behind the net here. He's going to try to get something started, and he passes it to Ramsey McCreary. McCreary in the dangerous part of the field, center of the field right there. Don't want to have him standing there.
McCreary is so shifty. It's a tough cover for bigger defensemen. His change of direction is pretty incredible. He's low to the ground and small. Really tough to cover for those big, taller defensemen.
Working from behind, up to Rodriguez on the wing. Up top now for McCreary. Who's going to take another take there. You said shifty is the word to kind of describe him. The way he moves is just, you don't know where he's going to go.
Reminds me a lot of a guy named Case Mathias that played at Duke for 4 years. Really small, but just really, there you go. And there you see it. Ambidextrous, great change of direction. No way a short stick can cover that guy.
Great goal from McCreary. We're going to go back down to field level for RJ with another interview.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Jono. Down here on the field with Cade Van Raphorst. Cade, how's this second quarter shaping out for you guys?
Yeah, it's going pretty well. 7-1, so things are looking good for the South. We got a little competition between the coaches with Bubba and Tucker, so glad to be on that side.
Now, what's the energy like here down on the field, and how's the weekend been overall?
It's been great. The facilities are incredible. It's come a long way since when I played in this a long time ago. We used to do it at like a high school in California, so it's it's awesome for the players to get to be out here and kind of experience playing in a venue like this, and it's been really cool.
Now, how's it been seeing the event grow and more players come out and play and more fans come out?
Yeah, it's been awesome. I think most of the fans when I played were just parents, so to see actually like a tournament here and see them growing it a little bit has been great for the game and great for these kids. They put in so much work during the year and throughout their high school careers, and to kind of get to the chance to come play in something like this is to cap off their high school career is awesome.
Now, before we send it back to you guys, we saw each other at the Final Four. You took down my Maryland Terrapins, and you apologized for it.
Not quite. I'm not going to apologize for that one, but go Blue Devils. That's all I got to say.
Back to you guys.
We come back to a goal from Ramirez there, coming down the alley, gets a nice shot and just buries that one.
Ryan Ramirez, a great two-way midfielder heading to Bryant. Ryan plays for me at Torrey Pines High School in San Diego. Great leader, great kid, and really a great get for the Bryant guys.
We just heard from Cade Van Raphorst down there, the Duke star, and this group of guys that you have who are alums who are back here coaching is a pretty incredible list of talent.
It's pretty awesome that those guys, have come a long way, and they've done so well where they are. Cade Van Raphorst, two-time All-American at Duke, took them to the finals this year. Bubba Fairman and Tucker Dordovic, and just the fact that those guys are willing and able to come back here and give back says a lot about them and about their relationship to adrenaline.
The South here continuing to dominate these face-offs.
Hess is just dominating this game. It unequivocally is the MVP at this point in the first half.
What do you see from him? Why is he able to have so much success?
I wish I could tell you. I don't know enough about the face-off. It's become so complicated that I couldn't tell you. But I do know that I've seen him beat the best of the best. Division I, doesn't matter who it was, and I can assure you that if Coach Stanoff was watching this, he's got to be real happy, smiling at home, knowing he's getting Aiden next year.
You just mentioned how complicated the face-off position is becoming, how important it is, and how it can kind of change the trajectory of your program, having a great or a not-so-great face-off specialist.
100%. You've seen what it can do with Denver and Albany, all the latest TD Ireland stuff. I mean, it has become almost the most important position.
DeMayo's going to start with this one. Got an extra man opportunity here.
First penalty of the game right there.
First penalty, penalty in an All-America game. You got to love it. The guys are playing hard. These are just having these 6 guys out there with a man advantage, it almost seems unfair.
Look at how much they're pushing out on Buckman. Smart defensive play by Coach Fairman.
Coach Fairman's got a future there as a coach, would you say?
Coach Fairman has a future probably in politics. That guy could be president one day.
Got a chance to hang out with him a little bit yesterday, and I would agree with that statement. He's got an infectious personality, and everyone just loves to be around him. Maryland got a really good star with Bubba Fairman.
Yeah, really a rare kid. Humble, charismatic, just always fun to be around.
Great defense by this North team. You know, I think we've seen, despite the score, I think we've seen some flashes of great D from this group back there. And killing off that penalty against those star players is some pretty good stuff.
Just saw Mark Rakowski in there on man down with a short stick, doing whatever the team needs.
He'll be going to the University of Pennsylvania. The Ivy League, probably one of the most exciting conferences in the nation right now, with Yale winning the championship. You've got Cornell as probably a top 5 team to start the year next year. Lots of good stuff happening at Princeton. Penn, always a team that is in the top 20 and taking down, top-ranked opponents left and right. Really going to be some impressive stuff in the Ivy League.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that.
Here we go for the North. You can see those different colored helmets representing their high schools. Something great that you can kind of represent your high school on this big stage right here. Joshua James is going to try to make something happen. He gets it back up top. We've got a nice pick set there by Armstead.
Years ago, we used to get helmet sponsors, and the kids had great-looking helmets, but, the kids, just like the Pro Bowl in the NFL, it's a lot more fun to see where the kids all come from, and by having their high school helmets, it makes the game more special and shows you the diversity, which you could never see with the custom helmets.
Excellent takeaway there from Ross Buckman.
Oh, boy.
North's able to end up at the ball, but that was an excellent takeaway. I'm sorry, that was Evan Egan. We got the roster cards switched up here a little bit. Egan's made a few incredible plays so far in this game.
Yeah, UNC is getting 2. Oof.
Wow. Joshua James going to Towson. Incredible shot. That kind of came out of nowhere and just goes into the back of the net. We have so many notable alumni who have played in this game. You know so many of these. You've coached so many of these players. Just look at the names on this list. What does this mean to you?
Yeah, this screen's pretty impressive. It's one thing to send guys to great colleges back east. It's another thing for these guys to go back there and really do well. Look at some of these names. Asher Nolting was an All-American as a freshman. Shalon Rogers is playing MLL. Mikey Schlosser. A lot of these guys are playing in the MLL now. Cade and Bubba down below that you just heard from. Yeah, it's an impressive list, and all of those guys really enjoyed this game to end their high school careers.
North's going to try to make something happen here to end this second quarter. Go into the locker room with a little bit of momentum, a little bit of, some good energy, some positive energy, and maybe come back here in the second half to get something going.
10 seconds here.
Jaden Carey with a good ground ball. They're going to have to go right now. This is going to be their opportunity, the best chance they have.
Nice
and a
save.
Great save.
Mikhail Fabroni out of Torrey Pines High School, heading to the Naval Prep Academy for a year before going on to Navy. Great save right there.
That was a great save. That's a way to stop any momentum going into this break here.
Yeah, as a coach, you never want to give up a goal before a quarter at any point in time. It's just bad for momentum, so that's a huge save by Mikhail.
Great save, but it's been South this whole time, including that last save. We are going to go into halftime. They have a clear momentum and clear lead.
Adrenaline's been a great sponsor for us this year. We came in and got all new gear. We got some new jackets and some shooter shirts and some new uniforms. All the stuff's been really light.
It was light, it was comfortable.
They are the product on the West Coast, and that's spreading to the East Coast.
Down on field, we have a very special presentation. The Jeremy Huber Award is going to be awarded at the midfield. We're going to send it down to R.J. Kaminsky, who is going to present that award, along with Adrenaline CEO Alex Cade.
The Jeremy Huber Award is given in memory of the late Jeremy Huber, to the player who best represents the characteristics and values Jeremy possesses: courage, character, and selflessness. This year's Jeremy Huber Award recipient goes to Justin Chang. Justin, how does it feel to win an award like this?
Feels great. It's especially humbling, and I'm just very grateful for this opportunity.
How else are you feeling? I mean, this is the significance of this award. What's going through your mind right now?
I mean, this is great. I mean, the whole atmosphere here is awesome. It's great to be surrounded by great players from the West Coast, and it's great to see that the game's going.
Thanks, Justin.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
We're going to take a look at some of the first half highlights here. Really, the story of this game in the first half was just, they controlled it from the X and were incredibly efficient and successful. This first goal of the game, just taking it right down and Hesse just burying it, and it just continued from there.
Yeah, I think that first goal set the tone, and I think what's been great about the South is you're getting really balanced scoring. I think 6 or 7 guys have scored points, either assists or goals, and it's spread out, and no one guy's trying to do too much, which, as I said at the beginning of the broadcast, you got to have cohesion, and with so many all-stars, everyone needs to feel like they're a part of the deal, and I think the South is doing a great job with that.
We saw some dodges from up top and some late slides there from the North team resulted in those last few goals. The North did eventually get back onto the board there. We had Joshua James score, but really it was just, pretty much all South in that first half there. It started at the face-off X, and just the cohesion of the South team just looked so much better than the cohesion of the North team.
I think if you're the North team, you got to come out of the half just one play at a time, one ground ball at a time, one goal at a time. You can't try to get it all back in the first go. So simple plays, okay, get that first ground ball, get that first goal, and claw your way back in. That's got to be the mindset. Because, again, if they came out and try to do too much, they're going to be in the same boat second half.
First adjustments probably going to have to take place at the face-off X. Maybe do something different with your wings or just try to muck it up a little bit and create a 50-50 situation there.
It's time for Coach Fairman to put his money where his mouth is and make some kind of adjustment, whatever it's going to be. So we'll see what those guys do.
Great. We're going to take a quick break, and we will be back for the Adrenaline All-America game second half. Look at the stats here from the first half of this game. Face-offs is the one that clearly stands out, along with ground balls. Hesse is the face-off specialist, Aiden Hesse, going to Tufts University, really had a lot of Division I guys looking after him, but chose Tufts and is going to have a great academic career in addition to his great lacrosse career. That is clearly the stat of the first half.
Yeah, I think Aiden's a great example of late recruiting. Sort of found him in the summer of his senior year, and Aiden chose the right fit, which was a smaller school, but good for him. I think in the second half we're going to get a goalie change here. So great job by both goalies. I think you're going to see Matt Gates in the goal for the North, and then Carver Scarnolis for the South. So 2 fresh goalies. We'll see how that goes.
Jack Schlendorf with 7 saves in that first half. I thought he played well, given everything that was coming at him. That South team was just peppering shots at him.
Yeah, point blank, no slides, good hard overhand shots from some of the best players in the West. He has no chance on a bunch of those.
He had a great point blank save in that first half that almost led to a goal the other way, but it was kind of a missed opportunity in the offensive end. So a good day's work from him in the first half.
Yeah, it's always tough to be a goalie in a showcase or an all-star game. I think if you ask goalies, they don't look forward to stuff like this.
Time to get the second half rolling in this great game.
Hesse will again be taking the opening draw of the second half. Jackson Harvey, going to the University of Denver, is going to be trying to get something going here against him, and maybe the wing play will come into account here with this.
Jonathan Ford on the wing for the South, one of the best stick handlers around, headed to Notre Dame. He's going to go to Deerfield first for a PG year.
You keep hearing these recurring themes of these Notre Dame defensemen who are out here on the field, and they're all quality players, tenacious players, high IQ players. Notre Dame defense is what it is for a reason, and that's these guys that they recruit.
Yep, no. Jerry Byrne is a pretty diligent recruiter, does his homework, and both Chang and Ford have all the characteristics that you look for in defensemen.
The North gets a little bit of a break here with a face-off violation, is going to be able to get the first possession of this second half and try to turn the tide a little bit. We'll see what Coach Fairman had to say in the locker room there to kind of get these guys fired up. Maybe some brilliant coaching in that huddle there at the half. But first possession, really nothing happens here, and we're going to get it the other way. Spencer Grant clearing it and trying to go through a few guys there, and eventually settles it down. And the South is going to take its time here and set something up and try to extend its lead and test a new goalie.
Spencer Grant's another guy that I think will realistically have a great chance to be an impact player as a freshman. I don't say that about a lot of guys, but athletically and physically, he's just so far superior to kids his own age. And so whether he's playing on the wing or D-midi, I imagine he'll be in the mix at Michigan immediately when he gets on campus.
Matt Gates tested for the first time, gets a nice kick save there. A little bit of early, welcome to the game. Here's a tough shot for you to face, and he handled that really well.
Another great feed by DeMaio. As cliche as it is, Nick is a guy that really makes everyone else around him better. He's just such a smart player.
Despite this scoreline, I've been impressive with some of the individual defense of the North players, but playing as a unit's been a little bit of a struggle for them in terms of communicating. But one-on-one, they've been doing some pretty decent things. The sweep from up top.
Nick DeMaio, bounce pass. There you go.
Good movement and a great bounce pass there. That's one of those plays that you have to be really confident in your game to make that pass.
Yeah. No, Nick, I would say Nick's game is most closely resembles Connor Fields from Albany, if I had to pick someone that he plays most like. And we all know that Connor Fields has had a great career.
It's quite high praise for someone who really, David Sprock, maybe took a little bit too much time thinking about that shot and sent it wide. Had no one on him there on that shot. White peppering with some opportunities here, backing up the ball, getting lots of opportunities. They're really welcoming Mac into this game with some early action as soon as he get the first possession here.
Matt Gates, the goalie up at St. Ignatius in San Francisco, one of the traditionally powerhouse programs in California.
Another look from DeMaio. That one just didn't connect. And the North's going to go the other way. He's got some room here, and he's going to try to make something happen. That's Drake Schaffner. They instead decide to settle it and play this one behind the net. Bo Pedersen's got that one. Haven't seen too much from him. He's been neutralized with not having the ball throughout this game, but he's a guy that if there's going to be some momentum, it's probably going to start in his stick.
I think so. He's one of the better initiators. Loves starting with the ball. Right now he's at attack. Definitely can play some midfield as well. Can kind of play everywhere. A little bit of D-midi if needed. Like I said, he's a three-sport athlete. Great wide receiver in football. Had a bunch of Division I offers. Ice hockey. And he's going to play lacrosse at Princeton.
Athlete is something that we've said a lot.
There we go.
And there we go. Sam Hanley going to University of Pennsylvania, the second Penn guy we've talked about today. He gets it down the alley and just places that one to the top corner of the net. Gets a little bit of momentum. It's a 5-goal game now. That's not an insurmountable lead.
Sam Hanley, ambidextrous, 6'3" attackman, going to Penn. Really, really strong player. One of the best players out here from Oregon. Nice to see him getting on the board.
As we go to this next face-off, I want to bring along a special guest, Lauren Lee, who plays for the Philadelphia Fire of the PLL, the first year for the WPLL. Lauren, how's it been going so far?
You know, it's been going really great. We are super excited about this first season as a professional women's lacrosse league. But it's more than just a professional lacrosse league. It's also a development program for young women, and we strive to give them some character development on and off the field. You know, we all are super confident with a stick in our hands, but what can we do outside in our professional world? So we're really trying to get these women super confident, and I hope to see within the next 4 or 5 years some of these players that are actually playing in this event today within the WPL program itself. So I'm excited to see these girls play. I'm super happy to see these guys play. And this Nick DeMeo kid, he is something special. I'm really excited to see what he's going to be doing at BU next year.
We had J.R. Armistead there with the goal off the face-off there, really getting some momentum happening for this North team. Just incredible athletic play, and they're starting to get some answers there at the face-off X. They had a violation to start that second half, gave them the ball. They just scored a goal there, so maybe we're starting to see something happen there. And look at this play in transition. We got a long pole going down.
Drake.
And Drake nails this one into the top corner. We've got a ball game here.
Tough intro for Carver Scarnolis coming in. Probably didn't get a great warm-up at halftime considering how short it was. And he's gotten peppered with 4 shots in a row from point-blank range. Drake Schaffner headed to Dartmouth. I think Drake Schaffner is going to have a great career at Dartmouth. He has got a big body, nice Division I frame, physical kid. Nice job right there. That was a great shot.
It's a great shot, and it looks like Nicholas Williams there was behind him with the great celebration. He leapt about 12 feet into the air after that goal. What an exciting play and way to get this North team back into this game right now. You know, just a few plays here and there, and before you know it, you're back in it.
I'd love to know what Coach Fairman said to these guys at halftime. You can get a copy of that speech.
You know, he's a fantastic midfielder and maybe motivational speaker, maybe head coach. What can this guy not do?
Seriously.
Lauren, as we're talking about the WPL, you come from a traditional location. You from Maryland, and you went to University of Florida, which was a new school when you went there. From someone who's kind of seen it from that perspective, what's it like coming to an event like this where it's a lot of West Coasters, a lot of guys from states that aren't traditionally on the lacrosse radar? You know, they have been in certainly recent years because of the work like Adrenaline has done. What's it like seeing that?
You know, this is a super awesome event. The venue is second to none here. Growing up, I always thought that I would go to a big school, and University of Florida was a great fit for me. Unfortunately, we only had about 3 girls on the team during my time there that were actually from Florida. So to see all these guys and girls come out here from the west of the Mississippi to be top athletes at their sport is super inspiring, and it just goes to show how big this game is growing and how this sport is spreading across the nation.
Ramsey McCreary there with the hat trick, and that's an incredible fake that he just did there.
That was a big turn of events. Sam Hanley was on the doorstep. Carver made a great point-blank save, outloaded the ball. Quentin Buckman found Ramsey, another big goal. That was a big momentum shift right there.
Like you said, started with Carver in net making the save. You know, he's bound for Marquette. I know there's big plans for him once he gets there, and really the style of this second half has changed a little bit. It's a lot of stuff capitalizing off broken plays, a lot of full field stuff. Really an interesting brand of lacrosse that's been played here halfway through this third quarter.
I think guys are starting to get a little bit more comfortable, and the nerves are gone, and everyone's finally just playing lacrosse, and you're going to see a better half, I would imagine.
The nerves, the excitement. These guys have had a packed few days here of the media days, the banquets, all of these things. So right now they're probably just enjoying playing lacrosse. After about a half of getting out there and some You know, how many guys have played on the turf at the Star at Frisco? You know, probably not many of these guys. Pretty intimidating atmosphere to be a part of, and now we're seeing some really fun lacrosse. Let's see if North can kind of keep this going. You know, if that South goal there from McCreary was just a blip on the radar, and the North can kind of keep some of this momentum that they've built early in this third quarter. You know, they've got a pretty extended possession here, and maybe they can kind of tire out this South defense and capitalize on a mistake.
You're seeing a lot coming out of the sticks of Bo Pedersen and Sam Hanley. Those are two guys that they have to lean on. Oh, boy.
Some great short stick defense action right there from Josh Taus. Going to the Air Force Academy, military academies. You expect a certain level of toughness.
Oof, Pedersen had a good look right there. Yeah, Taus is a really tough kid. I think it takes a certain type of kid to attend an academy, and I think that it weeds itself out pretty quickly.
That Pedersen shot could have been a game changer right there. Just sailed a little bit over the net. I'm sure he wants that one back. But like you said, you know, we saw him kind of a little bit being the guy behind the net. And now they've moved him up top, and he can make it happen from any part of the field.
Yeah, he's crazy athletic. I think he'll probably start as a midfielder for the Princeton guys and then move to attack as his career goes on.
Nicholas Williams there. Good job getting his hands free, at least get a shot off. It wasn't the highest percentage shot, but he had a guy there to back him up. So good work from him to kind of use his body to get his hands free. And Carver, another save. Carver Scarnalis going to Marquette. He's had himself, you know, it was a rough early first few minutes of this quarter, but he's really found his center and really has shined here on this stage here late in the third quarter.
He's starting to settle in. Cade Southstad, great shot. Looked like a goal to me right there.
From this angle, that looked like it went into the net. It looks like it hit the bottom bar toward the back of the net. Wow.
Cade Southstad is a Highland Park guy. They were the Division 5A state football champions. Cade was the MVP of that game. Wide receiver, had 3 touchdowns.
We're going to look at this again. Here's the shot.
Ooh, that's a goal.
Oh, I think that's a goal.
Yeah, Cade was a 3 touchdown performance, including the game-winning touchdown in that game to give Highland Park the Texas football state championship. So talk about being athletic. 6'4" LSM. He's as athletic as anybody out here on the field.
And Carver Scarnalis started that one again with his nice outlet pass and gave Cade an opportunity to get in open space and take that shot, which should have been a goal. But this is an opportunity for the North.
Pedersen.
Oh, and Pedersen hits the crossbar.
Nice ball movement from the North. They're starting to move the ball, though. They look a lot better, a lot more comfortable. Sam Hanley's had 2 great looks. I think if he could go back in time, he'd want to take one more step and get a little bit of a better angle on Carver. Those shots were right below GLE, not much of an angle for those.
We got the dodge, and he gets another good opportunity. We're going to throw this one down to RJ at field level to get his perspective on this game.
Thanks, Jono. Thanks, Matt. I'm down here with Isaiah Dawson, going to play at Harvard next year. Isaiah, you guys went up early. They're creeping back now. Tell me about it.
I mean, it's going to be a competitive game. That's a great team. We're fortunate enough to get a good lead, but no surprises that it's going to be competitive in the end.
Now, tell me about coming out here from the West Coast. All these people out here. This game gets bigger and bigger each year. What's that like? Tell us about the atmosphere.
I mean, it's a wonderful sight to see, amazing to be a part of. To be at the forefront of kind of the growth of lacrosse is truly amazing. It's a blessing, so I'm just happy to be out here.
All right, now I'll be remiss to not mention these cleats, which are really stealing the show down here. I think they're going to do their best job to zoom in here. Tell us about these.
Yeah, so, I mean, I really like them. I got these and the GOAT ones, but these 100, it's just saying, keep it 100 with me. Always keep it real, so something I kind of like to live by, and just some cool, stylish cleats. Goes nice with the red jersey, so it works out.
Keep it 100, and you grew up watching TLN, which is the best part.
Yeah, so I was telling you earlier, talking about contest calling and Sweet Gear Samir. I'm a little angry at them because I never won any of the contests or got any of the Sweet Gear, but I still followed it. So it's crazy to be here now and talking to you guys. It's kind of full circle.
So you got to win the next giveaway on TLN, right?
Of course. We'll get it rigged. Anything to make it happen.
Good luck out there, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, RJ, and thanks, Isaiah. Paul Rodriguez, you know, able to make something happen there and extend this lead back to a 5-goal lead for the South.
Paul Rodriguez, Harvard-Westlake School in L.A., headed to the University of Virginia to play for Coach Kerwin in the fall. Really underrated player. Paul's a really smart player, really efficient, wonderful kid. That was a great goal right there.
And Spencer Grant, another really good opportunity off the face-off X. They seem to have found their solution there. Coach Fairman is, in addition to all the things he can do, he's also a face-off master, apparently.
Who knew?
Who knew? You guys have, maybe the guys in Maryland have been misusing him. Maybe they made him as a player coach as well. Great opportunity there, but, just goes a little bit wide. So the South's going to have another opportunity here and try to really, kind of close this game out and really take an insurmountable lead. But the way that the gameplay has changed in the second half, you really feel like no lead is going to be safe with the amount of transition play that's developed and the way that players are capitalizing off of mistakes and making something happen here in the third quarter.
Yep, goalies are starting to get hot. Transition is happening. Anything can happen at that point.
That was a good-looking side, but, Mark Rakowski there going to Penn. Good job just kind of seeing that happening and seeing that developing and getting his stick there in his body to prevent
nice pass.
something on the
Great
crease.
pass.
What an outlet pass
Cole
there.
Daninger.
A nifty pass that allows North to clear and set up here.
Actually, that was Jacoby. Sorry about that. Great goal by Sirkey. That was a goal. It looked like it was in the net. That might be the second goal that wasn't called. Great take by Jack Sirkey.
Refs need to even that up from the pole goal earlier that was not called. So
that's fair. Touche.
Touche. Jacoby, who had that nice pass on that clear, going to the Naval Academy. We talked about toughness and the military academies.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Paul Rodriguez again. Paul Rodriguez had Ross Buckman all over his hands, still somehow caught that behind the back. That is a tough catch and finish right there.
And what a pass by Ellis Geis as well on that one. So what a play. And we're going to go into the fourth quarter, an 11-5 lead for the South in the Adrenaline All-America game.
I think the competition was great. Facilities, second to none to anything Cross World sees or has seen. Be a part of that has been pretty special.
Having an event with 6 good teams in each division and only 6 good teams in each division is really unique. I've seen our guys improve just in the time we've been here, and it's been really great to see.
Scheduling of this program is great, along with the Adrenaline All-American game, giving our younger kids an opportunity to see the graduated seniors, their send-off to go on to the next level and to see how high level lacrosse is out in West.
To start the Adrenaline All-American game, pretty incredible opportunity for these kids from west of the Mississippi. Oh man, nicest kids ever. Oh, what a beauty. This inside roll. Oh my God. Asher Knowlton just putting on a clinic.
Between the recruiting seminars, the coaching clinics on the field with G3 and Face-Off Academy, I think sets us apart as not only a recruiting opportunity for kids, but also just an educational experience for the kids as well.
And here at the Ford Center, there's one field. And so I think there's about 40 college coaches here right now, and they're on the field watching every single game. So you don't have to worry about being spread out or what field you're on. It's all here, and it's in the air conditioning, which has also been nice.
We saw a little bit about the Western Prime event, which is taking place in conjunction with this Adrenaline All-American game here at the Star in Frisco. Jono, can you tell me a little bit about that? So you're exposing some of the greatest clubs in the West on this great stage.
Yeah, the Western Prime is a great event. It's a small boutique event with an invite only for the sort of the 6 top clubs in the West to come down here and build out this Adrenaline game. And what it does is it's also great for all those teams to be on hand for the All-American game. Puts people in the seats, gives exposure to the younger kids about what the aspirational piece is for them, which probably ultimately is to be in this game one day.
Yeah, if you're a young kid playing for one of those clubs and you get to go out here and see these guys, facing off on this big star, that's really got to be an inspirational moment for these kids.
Yeah, if you get to bump elbows with Isaiah Dawson and Quentin Buckman and Bubba Fairman and see those guys in action and then see all this gear, I think it keeps you motivated to keep working at this game.
One thing, the older kids and the alums have been incredible with the young guys throughout this. Good face
again.
Hess with a chance off the face-off there. But one of the things I've been really impressed with this event and with these people is, Bubba Fairman's talking to these young kids. Isaiah Dawson, who's a rising star that we're going to see in college soon. He's talking to these young kids. They're taking their time and really bringing up this next crop of great Western players.
Yeah, I think Isaiah Dawson in particular has done a great job of using lacrosse as a platform, to help, basically push change. His whole thing with Nations United that he started, trying to really grow the diversity of the sport, using lacrosse to make a difference has been great.
Lauren, we're talking about, using lacrosse to kind of bring in this next generation of athletes and make a difference. That sounds in line with what the WPLL is doing.
Right. So we have a foundation called the WPLL Futures, which is encouraging players that are in the high school level and in the middle school level to actually get taught and encouraged beyond just lacrosse by the most talented players in the country, whether professionally or in college. So they are preparing these women to go off and do great things beyond lacrosse, but also to get that awesome lacrosse experience as well.
Had some excellent defense there by Evan Egan. He's having a heck of a game there, the future North Carolina Tar Heel. Really one-on-one, he's just a monster.
Yeah, I think North Carolina with a kid named Will Bowen and Evan Egan coming in, two of the best freshman defensemen I've seen in a long time. UNC's got a nice little class coming in their way. Matt Gates starting to get hot for the North.
You really like the way the goalie play has kind of developed here in the second half. There's a few goals early that, these guys were coming in pretty cold, and after that, it's just been, not only making the saves, but keying some transition and just showing some poise and creating some momentum for both teams.
Yeah, if the North isn't going to win faceoffs, they're going to need to get great goalie play and get transition and get the ball back that way. So Mac's doing a really nice job.
J.R. Armstead's going to take it from up top. He's got a short stick on him. He might try to go to the net here and make something happen, but pretty quick slide. He gets it from back to behind the net. A good cut. That pass kind of looked like it was threading the needle there. I thought it ended up in the stick, but it just kind of, the South just got a stick on it. And they're going to go the other way and have some numbers here.
From Sprock. Oof, great defense right there by Will Carson to get a stick on that.
Yeah, Will Carson was able to just get the very tip of the stick to deflect that ball out of bounds. The South had some numbers and an opportunity to make something happen there, but great hustle play, and he's hustling out to the end line here. Didn't quite get there in time, but he's having an impressive day. The thing I like about this the South team today has been a lot of really good off-ball movement. A lot of really well-timed cuts, and guys aren't just standing around when the other guy has the ball.
Yeah, like we talked about, pretty balanced and spread out scoring, which is really difficult to do in all-star games. Nice shot by Tate Young right there. Tate Young initially going to University of Pennsylvania, now going to Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's stolen a couple guys in this 2018 class.
Notre Dame is a team I know has had a lot of success out west with some of their guys that they've got. And it shows you can be a high-level Division I lacrosse team with players in non-traditional areas. They get a lot of good athletes, and athletes seems to be synonymous with the talent out here.
Yep, I would say so. Coaches want athletes, and they want tough guys. A lot of coaches, first thing they'll ask me is who are your toughest guys, rather than who are your best players per se.
Grayson Macaro was able to get that out.
Matt Gates
and
again.
What a save by Gates. Just shutting the door. It looked like he was trying to go 5-hole, and he was able to.
Great defense by Cahal Roberts right there. Ooh, nice play by Spencer Grant. Wow.
Gates again. He is on fire.
Great shot by Spencer Grant. That was a heck of a save.
Grant showing some speed there. It looks like he kind of just came out of nowhere and picked up that ball.
Grant is a freak athlete, along with Dawson right here. Two guys that will probably play a lot of defensive midfield when they get to college, and two guys that can make defense into offense in a hurry.
Patrick English is taking this from up top. Interesting little shifty play there, little trickeration there. Ended with a Drew Erickson behind the back attempt. Guys are having fun out there.
You're seeing another look at Cade Sostad right there. 6'4" defenseman headed to Virginia. Probably one of the better athletes on defense for these guys.
Cade Sostad is a guy that, I've seen a lot on the East Coast playing in events, and, he's one of the highest ranked defenders in the Inside Lacrosse recruiting database. Just incredible skill set, incredibly athletic, and he's going to be a top tier defenseman.
Oof,
but there, play. Mason Bonney gets around him, going to Georgetown. Nice little nifty, shifty play there, and able to narrow this lead a little bit. He just not sure how he's kind of slipped past Sostad. Sostad maybe went for a little bit more of a flashy check than he needed to, and just kind of got underneath him and made something happen.
Mason Bonney's a San Francisco kid that went to Deerfield Academy and then just PG'd at Lawrenceville this year, so doesn't do a lot of West Coast club stuff, more of an East Coast guy, but he's originally from San Francisco.
We're going to take another face-off here.
God, Aiden is just on one today.
Face-off one by number 13,
Aiden Hess. We've talked about him going to Tufts and him pursuing his academic and athletic career. For a team that's a Division III championship contender year in, year out, you know that very well.
Sure do. I think Tufts is a great school in the sense that it's 6,000 undergrad, which is ginormous for Division III, and it's near a big city, and you can still get great lacrosse. So I think it's a really big option for West Coast kids who, if they're going to go far away from home, want to at least be in a big city and play for a winning program. So
South slowing it down a little bit here. Buckman with the ball on the stick. We're going to see if he can make something happen. He's one of the best players in the country. I think he might be the highest rated midfielder in the Inside Lacrosse recruiting database right now, in terms of just his flat-out attributes, his skill set, his IQ, his talent, his ability to make anything happen. We've seen that on display today. Again, some good individual defense from the North team there. It looks like they're sliding a little bit better. That was Will Carson, who's had a really good game out there.
Yeah, Will's a great player. Another guy that was sort of a late recruit, late bloomer, really big kid, grew into his body, and pretty good get for BU late in the game.
Yeah, I think he's going to turn a lot of heads with his performance here in this game, and BU has built up some really good teams in just a short time there in the Patriot League, and Coach Ryan Poley has done an incredible job there. Really, bringing in some great recruiting classes, and they've got some stars there.
DeMayo being one of them for sure, right?
Yeah.
He's a guy you can build a program around, and they did have Quentin Buckman at one point before he fled to Notre Dame, so that they're getting the better guys and they're taking Western guys to try to build around. Losing Buckman for that program was devastating, though. I feel for those guys.
Buckman with a take there, and you can see how much attention he draws. The defense just swarmed on him. Brody Laporte going to Villanova ended up with the ball. Villanova with a great kind of line of LSMs who can score, have gone through that program, and Laporte is a guy who looked pretty talented so far in this game.
Yeah, Brody Laporte's an excellent long stick mini. Tough, mean, throws hard checks.
One of my favorite players I've ever watched is Brian Karalunas, the former Villanova LSM who has a West Coast connection, just graduated law school from Stanford. So he'll follow that lineage and be in good hands with Coach Corrado up at Villanova. North trying to make something happen. They got 6 minutes. What do you do here?
Again, it's got to be one play at a time. You can't try to get it all back. You can't get 5 goals on one play. So you got to have a little bit of urgency, but just one goal at a time.
6 minutes is an eternity with the way we saw them score 2 goals back to back pretty quickly in the third quarter. So it's you can play your game and get goals in quick succession here. Sostad, ground ball there. That guy's just a monster.
Yeah, he's a very good lacrosse player. Tough to get around, great stick, kind of does everything. Highland Park was a really good team the last couple of years, and largely because of Cade. He was their leader for the last 2 years.
South slowing this down, getting their subs in, trying to milk a little bit of clock here with just little over 5 minutes left to go in this Adrenaline All-America game.
Wow, just the North not sliding to that. Jake Brophy, Coronado High School, great dodge there. No help from the defense. Nothing Matt could do about that one.
What a goal there. And we're going to throw this down to RJ at field level.
I'm down here with Cahal Roberts. He's going to Princeton. Cahal, how's the game been out there so far?
It's been tough. A lot of great players on both sides. Offense, defense, everything's at the next level. And it's very intense, very fun, very fast, and I'm loving it.
Now we talk about growing the game, getting players from the West Coast, the best on the West to come out here. You're not from the West Coast.
No, I was born and raised in Ireland, moved over here when I was 8 years old. And my brother got into the game first, and I kind of followed him, became my passion, and I started to love it. So, yeah.
So we are seriously growing the game, being from Ireland. You wanted to cut this short. You want to get out there. We got 4.5 minutes to go. Get back out there, man. Thanks for the time.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
North with a good ground ball there to keep a possession and try to make something happen here late. They got 4 minutes left to try to get 6 goals. Still have to play urgent, but still have, not be overly impatient with the ball.
Oof,
right there. That was a great opportunity right there, but some good goaltending from Carver Scanarlis.
Carver's really settled in after those first couple of goals. He's having a great fourth quarter.
We're going to look at last night a little bit. These guys got treated to a nice banquet for being Adrenaline All-Americans. Just some of the stuff that goes into this event and the perks that these guys get, to reward what they've done is pretty incredible.
Yeah, the banquet last night was pretty high end. The guest speaker was Jake Schick, former American sniper, former Marine. Just had a great story to tell. The guy's a true warrior. I think he had 46 different surgeries, amputee. He did a great job. I think the kids were really lucky to have a guy like that caliber come speak to them.
It just goes to show that, for these guys, it's about what happens on the lacrosse field, but it's about something bigger and kind of paying it forward and showing respect to everyone, is part of it, not just how good you are on the lacrosse field and what you accomplish in terms of goals and assists.
Yep, Jake's message was great, just that the game is bigger than you. And I thought the kids, it was well received. You never know with teenagers, but I thought they were hanging on every word that he said, and a guy like that can certainly command respect and command the room. So it was a great choice for speakers.
Important lessons for these, soon-to-be college athletes to learn here, while they're on this big stage. Back to action, 2.5 minutes left. North's got an opportunity to, they're really going to have to start pressing right now and really try to make something happen if they want to, get 6 goals in just a few minutes. And it's going to be tough with the way that Carver Scarnellis is playing in net.
Another great look, kind of a blown opportunity right there. Unequivocally, Aiden Hess is the player of the game.
Yeah, the story of this game has been Hess. The South's ability to capitalize on possession.
Yeah, tell them that.
We've talked so much about this offense for the South team, but defensively they are swarming to the ball and just not giving any space to these North Dodgers. Really incredible. Besides there was a really good little open space there that Bo Pedersen was able to capitalize on. Kind of got in that soft spot, a few yards above the crease, and a little bit in no man's land for this South defense, and able to get a late goal here.
A little bit too little, too late. The South did a really good job of containing Pedersen. Like I said, I can't say enough good things about Bo. I'm surprised, we haven't seen more of this today, but nice little finesse for a big, strong guy.
And that came just as I was trying to make a point about how, the South, I thought, has been playing good, solid team defense for a team that's just thrown together for this showcase. I thought they've really meshed really well. A little bit of a miscommunication there. Kind of left him wide open.
And here's Aiden again. Like I said, that this game started with his goal, and from there, the exclamation point was sort of put on this game in the first 10 seconds. So hopefully the North can get a few here to make it close, finish out the score. But this was all South.
Yeah, Aiden Hess just starting the game with that faceoff. Not only does it set the tone that he's going to have success at the faceoff X, but it just shifts the dynamic of the game when you do that, just to start, opening whistle, it's just something in the back of the other team's head, from that moment on. So really just an incredible game for him. Lots of incredible performances all around the field, though. I think you have to look at the goalies in this second half, both of them.
Ooh, nice. There's Mac again.
And then there's Matt Gates, well-timed save. He's been incredible.
Yep.
He's been in the losing effort of this game, but certainly not.
No goal. That didn't get off by the buzzer. That's not going to count that one, I don't think. And that's the game. 12-7 the South. That goal does not count.
12-7 the South. Standout performance from Aiden Hess as the going to Tufts University. The face-off X really started this game on a high note and just kept it going from there. Great goalie play. And then Nick DeMeo. We talked about him a lot early in this game. Some great feeds, some great off-ball play, and really just making stuff happen. Another one of the standout players of this game.
Yeah, I think with the balanced scoring with so many different guys chipping in, Aiden stands out as the MVP because, no one guy was the guy, which is why the South ended up winning. So kudos to Aiden. Fun to watch. The South spread the ball around. Got a lot of guys involved, and that's just really fun to watch.
Ramsey McCreary had a hat trick in this game. He's another player who really made a lot of stuff happen. And Cade Sawstead on the defensive end, going to Virginia. He had that goal that should have counted.
Yep.
But his stat line's still going to be impressive no matter what. We're going to take a look at the highlights. Here's that opening play that we've talked about many times. Hess just winning the opening faceoff, bouncing it into the top corner of the net, and that really set the tone for the whole game.
See DeMaio making plays all over the field. And what you're seeing here is a lot of assisted goals for the South, where I thought the North was more of a one-on-one mentality tonight. We got good ball movement and good diverse scoring from the South.
Yeah, in the South, that opening barrage, after that Hess faceoff, they just look like a team that's been practicing together for years. And then the North, they had their chances, especially, here we had
Sam Hanley looks
Sam
like right
Hanley
there.
and Joshua James. And this was the goal that really you thought the momentum was going to shift there. When J.R. Armistead, he got the goal off the faceoff, and then we had the Drake Schaefer goal. This is when we really thought we got a ball game here. But then going the other way, that wonderful fake by McCreary and scoring that goal off of the Carver Scarneless save, just really kept that momentum from building and really was probably the point when any hope for the North stopped.
Yeah, that Ramsey McCreary goal was the dagger for sure. So, again, the North made it interesting, but all in all, this was all South pretty much from the opening get-go.
There you see the wonderful venue that we're at. This has been an incredible game. The handshake, these guys all know each other. They've all played on clubs together, against each other. Lots of mutual respect on this field.
Yeah, a lot of these guys on both teams are heading out to Vail tonight to the Vail shootout. They're going to be playing for the Adrenaline Tropics, so we're all about to get on a plane together tonight and going from rivals to teammates tonight. Should be a great week in the mountains in Vail with all these guys.
The coaching staff, we thought that Coach Fairman was going to pull a miraculous halftime speech and get something going here. He did a little bit in the third quarter, but apparently just not enough right there.
It's tough because Cade Van Rapphorst and Duke beat Bubba Fairman and Maryland in the Final Four, and now Cade's got him again. So Cade's got Bubba's number.
Oh, man. I don't think Bubba's going to like too much that you brought that one up. Incredible years for those young, talented stars in college lacrosse, and then being able to pass it on to this group here that we have playing is pretty incredible.
Proud of those guys. Proud of both of those guys.
We've talked so much about the South and the guys who started in this win, but for the North, besides Matt Gates and his incredible performance in the second half, there were still some really good individual performances here.
Defensively especially, I thought Will Carson, Roberts, and Laporte did a really good job. They played a lot of defense, to be fair, so they had a lot of time back there. They did a good job, though. This could have been a lot worse.
You look at the stats, 13-7 the faceoffs was really the key number there. Look at the save number for the North. 13 saves, a lot of them probably attributed to Matt Gates, who had a heck of a second half there, and some really good saves in tight. The South able to pepper shots on net, 37 shots, 39 ground balls, a lot of those obviously the face-off X and the wing play that came there, but really felt like this whole game that there was players were going for ground balls. Players were trying to make hustle plays. They were really doing everything they can to really make the most of this experience in this stage.
Yeah, guys weren't afraid to mix it up for an all-star game. You never know if guys are going to just be too cool for school, but guys were competing, guys were getting after it, guys were making the invisible plays, ground balls, man balls, double teams. It was great to watch.
Now we're going to go down to the field to RJ to present the MVP.
It's my pleasure to introduce you to the most valuable player of the 2018 Adrenaline All-American Game, Aiden Hess. Hey, Aiden, we're going to look this way. All right, Aiden, how you feeling right now, man?
Pretty good. It was great to get out there with the boys and play one last game. It's just a pleasure growing up with the Adrenaline name.
Tell us about the atmosphere out on the field today. You balled out.
Oh, it was great. Loved the turf, loved the whole lights. It was a great day.
Experience in one word.
Surreal.
All right, last question. What are you going to do next?
Head into Vail and then Disneyland.
Let's go. Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Well, a well-deserved honor for Aiden Hess there. An incredible game with the South coming out on top of this Adrenaline All-America game. I'm Matt Kinnear with Inside Lacrosse. John Zissi here with Adrenaline. Lauren with WPLL. Thanks for joining us. We're going to have the girls game next. Incredible day. Thanks all.
Thank you.
Players.